Welcome to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina. And Ron and I are the creators of TYRO.
TYRO is a Latin word which means apprentice, novice, someone learning something new, a warrior. That's right. And you know what? We love that we are now fighters for our legacy.
Oh, yes.
We get to be empowered and empower others to really understand that, look, life is short, but don't waste it. Don't waste your time on frivolous things. Understand that this is your moment when you get to leave a mark.
That's right. Ron and I have learned to overcome almost every obstacle imaginable. Ron spent 15 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit. But out of that, we learned what it meant to really build the foundation of a healthy, thriving family in spite of your circumstances. So our passion is to help every person coming behind us learn how to build that same foundation and leverage your legacy.
You know, we talk about me going to prison for not only a crime I didn't commit, but I had to come to grips in terms, guess what? Now that I'm here, now what? I was bitter, I was angry, I was complaining, but I had to wake up to the reality that I found myself in a place, yes, of course, I did not want to be there, but how do I make the best of it? How do we make the best of it? And this is really what TYRO is all about. How do you make the best of the situation that you find yourself in where you can change your story? You can change your outcome.
Because really, TYRO, we didn't develop the word, obviously, but what we did was we created a suite of programs that really help dads take their rightful place in their family, build healthy relationships, help people become a leader in their home, their community, and their workplace. So if you're looking for something different, if you're tired of living the same old, then you are in the right spot. Through TYRO TV, we seek to teach you all the lessons we learned so that you can build a strong, thriving legacy for your family.
Now, is this easy?
No.
Absolutely not. And today's subject is just about that. What we're talking about hurts.
Oh.
And today's subject is discipline. The discipline it takes to get from one place to another, to fulfill your destiny, to fulfill what you've been called to do. Guess what? It takes hard work and discipline.
And discipline hurts. But stay tuned. We're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to break down what it means to actually practice discipline in your life. You don't want to miss this.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You'll begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Cathy Tijerina's own personal experiences. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions. To own it, you'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we're talking about discipline hurts.
The pain of using discipline in your life. The pain of leveraging it and actually learning this self-regulation. My goodness, people are like, well, you know what? I just can't do it. Or you know what? I'm doing this, but you know what? It's easy. If it's easy,
that's not it.
That's not it. That's not what we're talking about.
This is taking the path of least resistance. Is that it?
Yeah,
Right?
That's taking the path of least resistance when it doesn't hurt, when it's not painful. You know what? I'm just going to continue on this path. But when you exercise discipline, discipline hurts and it's uncomfortable. And each time that you do something and then you master that, discipline means you take it to the next level. And so you go from pain to pain to pain in order to produce the result you want.
And when you
That's what we're talking about.
And when you get to where you want to get, guess what? You haven't arrived yet. There's another level. There's another level of success. There's another level of setting yourself free. Breaking the chains in your life that have been keeping you down takes discipline. You know, I know, for example, when I started understanding what discipline was, the first thing I understood was that discipline does not walk with chumps.
Ooh, that's true. Say that again.
Discipline does not walk with chumps. When I said taking the path of least resistance, that was my story. That was my life. I wanted it easy. I wanted it every which way but loose, right?
Right, exactly. And you know what? Once I accomplished, I was the same way. Because once I accomplished something, I just wanted to coast on that, thinking that, oh, you know what? That hard work, that little season of hard work is going to get me to where I want to be. But that's not true. Complacency begins to set in when you don't walk with discipline every day. So what we're talking about is being challenged, working hard, achieving this level, and then rolling up your sleeves and working hard again for the next level. And if you think, well, I've arrived, you know what? You're really not satisfied with your life. You get to a place, you celebrate that success, but then you've got to do the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. A life of continuous improvement. That's what we're talking about. And you know what? That's not comfortable. And discipline hurts.
And there's going to be a lot of people in your life that aren't going to understand why you always trying to outdo yourself.
Right.
Why you always trying to outdo, because they might carry it themselves and say, why you always trying to outdo me? Why you always trying to make me look bad? And the truth is, it has nothing to do with them.
No.
Discipline, when you embrace discipline and you embrace the hurt that comes with discipline, it's putting yourself in a place where you're not comfortable. It's putting the people around you in a place where they're not comfortable. It's challenging the status quo. You're always challenging the ordinary life because you want to live an extraordinary life.
Oh,
right?
that is so true. You don't want to just coast through life being ordinary and just like everyone else and being complacent. So you may have made bad decisions and you're sitting there and it's a struggle to connect with your kids. It's a struggle to keep your family intact. And you know what? If you're just sitting there thinking, well, this is just the lot I have and I'm just going to suffer the consequences. You know what? Then you are living an undisciplined life. You're not self-regulating. You have not developed resiliency. You have not developed fortitude. And what you need to do in order to achieve a strong, thriving family, especially you, Dad, you've got to rise up and you've got to say, you know what? I'm in a tough situation, but that situation does not define me. I'm going to exercise that discipline. I remember when I went through this season of 2 years, and every time we got on the scale, I gained another pound, another pound, another pound, another pound. And you know what was really hard? Discipline to do push-aways. It was like, you know what? If it tasted good, I want to eat thirds. And that was not getting me.
So what's a push-away?
What is a push-away, Ron?
Push that tray away, right? And guess what? We've all been there. We've all had something, a vice in our life, but we have to come to a place where, you know what? I need to practice discipline. Practice does not make perfect.
No.
Practice makes permanent. And when you begin to practice a new principle in your life, it becomes permanent. This discipline that hurts that we're talking about. When I used to smoke cigarettes, we talk about that. I was a professional quitter. I quit.
You were a professional
I quit every day 1,000 times.
Every weekend, and he would look at me and say, you know what, this is too expensive. I'm going to quit smoking.
It lasts 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Guess what? Because I forgot.
Maybe an hour.
Maybe an hour. I forgot I quit. Right? Especially after a great steak, after a great meal. You want that afterburner, right? You people know, if you're out there smoking, you know what I'm talking about, right? But when you say, you know what, this is the day I'm going to make that decision, it may not happen that day. It may not happen the next day. But practice makes permanent. So I became the practice. I'm quitting. Eventually, guess what? I put the cigarettes down.
So how long ago now have you?
Oh my goodness. I'm 54. Right? I'm 54 years old.
30 years?
30 years at least, because it was 25 years old when I smoked my last cigarette, right?
Yeah.
I was 25.
And look at that. So finally, it's a mindset to say, you know what? I am not going to let this thing stand between me and my goal. And so, you know what? Even though it hurts, even though it's painful, I remember quitting smoking cigarettes, and it was horrific.
You used to smoke cigarettes?
Yes, it was horrific. The headaches and the withdrawals. Oh my goodness. And I just remember thinking, you know what? That pack of cigarettes is not going to become more powerful than my own willpower. And that was that discipline, and it hurt.
That discipline that we're talking about that is inside each and every one of us. There's an unction inside you that you got to rise up. You got to stir it up. You got to fight for it.
But once I did it, once I had the discipline to overcome one thing, then it empowered me to overcome and set goals beyond that. So when we come back, we got to take another short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about why it's so important to walk with discipline.
Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
playing catch, basketball, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. These are all normal things on the outside, but many times are missed in a visitation setting. TYRO Dads brings the same fun experience to the inside through family days. As a TYRO Dad, you have the opportunity to participate in this fantastic event. Family Day is designed to allow fathers and families to engage with each other through activities designed to stimulate communication, learning, and play. Family Days will not only be a highlight for you, but for your children as well. The Ridge Project has strategically developed Family Day as an opportunity to help you connect with your child throughout your separation and help both of you develop skills to continue building your relationship when you return home.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina, and today we are talking about how discipline hurts.
Man, does it ever. Especially when you know, I need to stop this. I need to figure out what it's going to take. Because why? There is so much at stake. When you practice discipline, the doors that open up when you have a victory after victory after victory in your life because you're not giving in to temptation.
Oh my goodness, it builds that self-confidence. When you don't practice discipline, it erodes your self-confidence. It erodes the inside of you, your ego even. Just thinking, you know what, gosh dang it, that thing has me, whether it's pop, whether it's caffeine, whether it's alcohol.
Whether it's lust, whether it's coveting, whether it's lying, whether it's cursing.
Whether it's pornography, whether it's lying, whether it's cheating, whatever it is, when you know that thing has you, you feel defeated.
Man, I'm telling you.
No matter what mask you put on. So when we think about the importance of discipline, we know it hurts. We've had to over and over again, just like you, face something and say, you know what, that thing has a lot of power over me in my life. I need to get that control of that. And initially it hurts because everything in you wants that candy bar, wants that cookie.
Well,
right?
the greatest thing right now, I think personally, if we're talking about me, my discipline that I am trying to practice each and every day is to not be compelled or not be overpowered by the desire to grab my phone every second of every day.
Oh yeah,
right?
The struggle is real.
Facebook is an addiction.
Right, yeah.
It is.
It is. And even just checking your emails, checking your texts, but constantly being distracted by that phone. You're right. And so anything that is keeping you from achieving what you really want to achieve, because you can waste all kinds of time playing games. You can waste all types of time just sitting there, just talking, just
scrolling.
talking. Yeah, all of that.
Scrolling through life. But the discipline we want to embrace causes us to accomplish what we set our mind to. If you're telling yourself, I'm going to write a book, it takes discipline to sit there and to write. It takes, if you're saying, you know what, I'm going to start working out, it takes discipline to get in the car, drive to the gym, get in there and get it done, right?
Oh, absolutely. And that means that you have got to bring yourself into subjection and say, you know what, I am going to rule. My willpower is going to rule over my actions. And for me, like, sugar's a real thing. And so it's not like I eat one cookie. If I eat one cookie, I eat 3 cookies or I eat a whole package of cookies, right? Which is typical. So it's like, I know, hey, these are my limits. And I have to constantly keep myself in check. Why? Because if I don't, it's unhealthy for me emotionally, physically, mentally, all the way around. So if you want to develop the resiliency and the fortitude that you need in order to reach your dreams, you must begin to practice discipline in the small things. And then you're setting a standard, not just for yourself, where you're feeling empowered, but also for your children, because your children are watching you. And if they see, wow, look at dad, look at my parents. Every time that there's a thing in front of them, they give into it.
Another thing I want to practice also, and I think all of us need to practice, dads, when we don't take things personal, right? We want to practice DTIP. It's a concept called don't take it personal. Because when we take things personal, we have a sense to maybe throw a temper tantrum. We have a sense to maybe say something we're going to regret. But it takes discipline to self-regulate yourself. Why is it important? Because your children are watching you. Your family is watching you. They're going to grow with you grow. When you practice discipline in the morning, right? I don't know what your ritual is in the morning. What do you do in the morning when you have your morning coffee? When you're sitting there each and every morning, do you have a devotion? Do you sit and meditate? Do you practice something to prepare yourself for the day? Because the onslaught of the enemy or the people around you or the people that might try to take you out, you got to practice, you know what? Self-control. You can't get draped off into the things that are happening outside of your control. Listen to what I just said. You cannot get draped off into the things that you have no control over. But it's easy for us to be overpowered or take things personal and think that, you know what, it's all about me. And so we lose sight of what's important. And this type of discipline that hurts will cause you to step back, look at the situation for what it is, and bring a solution to it. Because why? You're practicing a discipline that tells you it's not about you.
Right? That's right. I'm setting a new course, a new legacy, a new foundation. You remember we said practice makes
permanent.
That's right. Not perfect. Practice makes permanent. And earlier Ron said, discipline doesn't walk with chumps. So what does that tell you? If you are living an undisciplined life and you are just giving into every desire you have, that makes you a what?
Chump.
A chump.
Oh,
you don't want to be a chump.
Come on, no
right?
more chump. I don't want to be a chump.
Yeah, you want to be an officer, right? You want to walk with authority. In order to do that, you need to know who you are. You need to know that you are conquering every battle, every possible thing that comes into you as a temptation, that you are capable and able of overcoming that, facing it and recovering it. And when you do that, you are setting a brand new precedent in your life for your children, for your family, for your community, and in your workplace. You want to be successful, you've got to start practicing discipline.
Opportunity, they say, knocks on the door once. But temptation leans on the doorbell.
And that is so true.
And we get tempted with things every day, each and all. But what happens is when you're not practicing discipline, you will fall for every trap. You will fall. You'll be constantly groomed to fall constantly in your life.
Every temptation will take you out. So if you're sitting there and you're thinking, wow, you know what, I need to do something different, then you want to stay tuned. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to help you break down how. How do you go from an undisciplined life to a disciplined life?
Stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Dear son, it's been hard these last few years, watching you grow up without me in the picture. Never taking the time to find out how you were or what was going on in your life. You're just a boy, I thought. You don't need me. I didn't need my dad. He was never around, I told myself. But I was wrong, son. I'm supposed to be a grown man. I was selfish. I was stupid. I was thinking of me, not you. If I could go back, son, and change things, I would. It's taken me all this time being selfish to finally grow up and realize I need to be a responsible man. That's what I finally learned, not from prison, but the TYRO program. It's all about becoming a better, stronger man. Wish I would have gotten it sooner. Everything looks different to me now. I'm a changed person. I know I need to be there for you now. It's not about me anymore. It's not about being cool. It's not about who I run with. It's about mom. It's about you. It's about being a better man, learning something new in my life. It's about being a TYRO, a man worth following. I'm your dad. You're my son, and I love you. I am a TYRO. I'm a TYRO. Dad.
If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO or just want to know more, contact your local Ridge Project facilitator or your caseworker.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we're talking about discipline hurts.
And again, discipline doesn't walk with
chumps. We've talked about the what is it. We talked about why it's important. Now let's talk about how do you implement, how do you practice a new behavior in your life that will get you where you want to go.
Because it's so easy to say it. It's so easy to say, you know what, I have this resolution, or you know what, I have this decision I made to do this thing or to stop doing that thing. And that's the easy part, is saying it. But then the actual follow through, it's not easy.
You gotta execute.
It hurts. You've got to execute on it. And if you don't know how, if you don't know these little tricks and tools to actually achieve your goal, you're going to fail. And when you fail and you keep trying and trying, you keep failing because you're doing the same thing over and over again, you become discouraged to the place you just give it up.
So the first thing we want to encourage you to do is you have to change your mantra. Have a mantra. Say something positive about whatever it is you're about ready to tackle that you're going to bring under your feet.
So before you say what you should say, don't say, I hope I can. Don't say, I'm going to try. Don't say, well, I think maybe. All of those words, you're giving yourself a way out, and you've got to stop doing that.
You got to stop giving yourself a way out, because that was me. You know what? When I was trying to quit smoking cigarettes, well, I'll try today. You know what? I'll start tomorrow. You know what? Today, you know what? Okay, just one. Right? Always finding an excuse why I can't, because remember, discipline does not walk with chumps. So the first thing we want you to do is have a new affirmation, a new mantra for yourself. I can, I will, I must. Say that with me. I can, I will, I must.
Again.
I can, I will, I must. Right? And when you're empowering that, you're saying, I can do it. I will do this.
Yeah.
I must. Why? Because my family is depending upon me to get it done.
Yeah.
Right?
I can,
I will, I must.
And when you have that mindset, you are undefeatable,
That's
right?
right.
Then it's easy to say, you know what? Let me take the first step. So the first one is change your mantra, right? The affirmations. Number 2 is set a goal, an achievable goal, and do it for 30 days. Whether that is, you know what? I am not going to hit snooze anymore, or I'm going to go to bed at a regular time, or I'm going to drink less caffeine, or I'm not going to eat sugar, whatever it is. Set your first goal that's going to get you towards your dream.
This is important that you set a goal. You got to start doing what you say you're going to do. I can, I will, I must. Whatever that goal is, and you got to attack it every day. This is a battle you're in. You're in warfare. You're battling with yourself and inside, because the body's telling you, you can't, don't worry about that. Just have another cigarette. Have another drink. Man, go ahead and look at pornography. It's okay. But you got to fight that fleshly desire to don't let it overpower you anymore. Right? Number 3.
Number 3 is journal. Now, journal your success. So if you say, wow, I went through one day, you write down the first day, made it through the first day without sugar. It was hard, I got a headache, I had to take a ton of painkillers, but I made it through the first day, and
Maybe
I'm
not
feeling
painkillers.
encouraged. I
Whatever,
like
Advil or
Tylenol,
something,
Advil,
right? But whatever it is you got to do, and I like that. Write a journal. Write down how you felt, what you experienced, because you want to go back and reread your victories.
Right.
What does journaling do? You become self-motivated by going back and seeing what you've already accomplished. Now you're measuring your success. Right?
And so then number 4, you want to recruit a partner. So if you're thinking, you know what, I want to stop drinking caffeine, and you know you've got a friend or maybe your spouse, somebody else is really struggling, they're drinking a ton of caffeine, and it's like, you know what, I need to stop drinking 4 dozen cups of coffee a day. Then go to that person and say, hey, you know what, let's join me in this journey and let's conquer this thing together. Because when you have a partner, you've got accountability, you've got motivation, you've got inspiration, and it helps you launch your journey. And you can encourage each other to reach your goal.
And this is key. When you find that right person to help you achieve your goals, and you're helping each other, you know, iron sharpeneth iron, right? That's what we're talking about. 2 people helping each other achieve the goal that they're having. Because you know what, when I was working out, I was trying to lose weight and stuff like that, I would work out myself, and it didn't last very long. But when I had a partner, somebody who was pushing me, holding me accountable, and then I'm pushing that person, holding them accountable, let's go together, let's show up. It just gives you that extra oomph, that discipline to go and to show up.
And that's what leadership does. Leadership isn't just about myself going on a walk. So you're developing leadership principles. To be that leader in your home, your community, and your workplace, you've got to practice those things. And that means getting someone else on the journey with you, encouraging them as you encourage yourself. Because nobody wants to be on a journey by themselves. That's not a leader. A leader gathers people around and helps them achieve their goals at the same time that you're achieving yours.
And that's awesome.
So practice makes permanent.
Right? So let's review real quick. Number 1, I can, I will, I must. Right? You need a mantra. You need a new affirmation about who you are. Number 2 is goal setting.
Set one goal that you know that you can achieve, one goal for 30 days. And then number 3, journal your progress against that goal.
You need to measure your success. You need to measure so you can go back and read it. Become yourself motivated. You don't always looking outside of yourself for motivation. You got your journal to show you what you've been able to accomplish. And number 4?
And number 4 is recruit a partner to walk with you on this journey so that you're helping somebody else also achieve their dreams. So when we come back, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to wrap it all up. So stay tuned.
And we'll be right back.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You'll begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Cathy Ron Tijerina's own personal experiences. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions, to own it. You'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we're talking about discipline hurts.
Oh, that is so true. It hurts in the moment, but it produces such a powerful outcome. We think about, bodybuilding, right? And you get done and you worked out and you're like, oh, the next day you're so sore. But it's a soreness that you're like, yeah,
I did it.
I challenged myself and I did it. And each victory prepares you for the next battle.
It does. When I appreciate you using the example of bodybuilding, because if you remember, if you've ever been working out and stuff like that, this takes a tip of discipline because you are about ready to go into pain, right? Because what happens is you're tearing down the old in order to build the new.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's what discipline's about. Tearing down the old man, tearing down the old woman, tearing down the old way of thinking so you can build a new way of thinking, a new way of living. And when you accomplish that and you're able to stand up and you're able to be proud, look what I accomplished, right? Back to your journal, right? You don't need to fall short anymore. You have what it takes to change the outcome of your story.
And by changing the outcome of your story, you are changing the outcome of your children's story because you are setting a clear path for them to follow. You are becoming a man worth following, a person worth following, because you are leading either unintentionally into paths of destruction, or you're waking up, you're practicing discipline, and you are leading intentionally into paths of resiliency and fortitude and the ability to overcome every obstacle. That's who you want to be.
You become that trailblazer for your family, for your community, for your state, for your nation. You become that trailblazer where you're going to set a new precedent, a new course, because why? You're building a legacy that will outlast you. That's what we're talking about.
That's exactly where you want to be and what you want to do.
Discipline does not walk with chumps.
So no more acting like a chump. It's time to stand up and act like a warrior.
TYRO up.
War for your family, war for your legacy, to become that leader that everyone is waiting for you to step up and become.
I like that number 1. I can, I will, I must. This is the mantra that we want to live. And we hope that you enjoyed today's show. We hope that it has empowered you to really understand that, you know what? You got to make that first decision. I can, I will, I must. Now, you might have to say that over and over and over again until you start to see something happen. But that's okay. That's okay. Practice does not make perfect. Practice makes permanent.
And as you begin to practice these principles, you are going to begin to see a shift, a change in the way you see, a change in your paradigm and how you see every obstacle in front of you. So we want to challenge you to start today. We also want to thank you for joining us today on TYRO TV. And until next time, always remember that we are rooting for you.